Maggie, cleaning my apartment recently, I found index cards with words I plan to say when you retired from the University of Southern Mississippi, my alma mater, a place where I continue to develop personal and professional values that have remained with me throughout different stages of my life. Since I did not say these words when you retired, I hope you will welcome them now. Some of my best memories of Southern Miss involve the Student Prince, the student newspaper where I was fortunate to hold the positions of reporter, news editor, and executive editor. And I can't think of the Student Prince without thinking of you and the impact you've had on my life. I still remember, even though it feels like a million years ago, when I wandered down the basement of Southern Hall to visit the Student Prince and talk to somebody about writing an article about the newly established Longleaf Trace. I left out of there having agreed to write the article myself. And that interaction was the beginning of what led to so many adventures and opportunities well beyond the Student Prince. It unlocked opportunities for me at the Vicksburg Post, the Meridian Star, the Hattiesburg American, the Clarion Ledger, Associated Press, the Northeast Mississippi Daily Journal, the Scranton Times Tribune in Pennsylvania, and the Greenville News in South Carolina. I've won my share of awards, but what has really mattered to me has been making a difference. At the Northeast Mississippi Daily Journal in Tupelo, I worked with a whistleblower for about 3 months, and that investigation uncovered broken state and federal laws at a rural water association. This reporting led the U.S. Department of Labor to open an investigation that resulted in employees receiving thousands of dollars in back pay owed to them, but uncompensated. I'm responsible for expanding government transparency and accountability in Mississippi through a public records request I made in Tupelo. The city turned down my request, so I wrote my own appeal to the State Ethics Commission, which turned out it was a first impression case. And that case, which resulted in a ruling in my favor, helped define text messages of public officials about public business as indeed public records. The Ethics Commission cites that case now as part of its training for newly elected municipal and county officials. Experiences I had at USM, especially my experiences with you, Maggie, at the Student Prince, encouraged and nurtured my dogged pursuit of the truth, accountability, and transparency in government at all levels, and giving a voice to people who needed their voice amplified. I thank you so much for so much of my life experiences during and after graduating from USM. A poor kid from a single mom home in the Mississippi Delta, I felt like I found my place on campus when I connected to the Student Prince, especially when I connected with you. You may not recall, but an interaction with you at O'Charlie's restaurant, where I waited tables to pay for school, changed my life in ways that we'll never know. I've written a couple of articles for the Student Prince but had convinced myself that my writing wasn't any good and had decided to quit. When I brought a balloon to where you sat in the restaurant, I brought the balloon to Mary Peyton Clark. I heard you say some of the most influential words I've ever heard someone say to me. You said, "You've got to come back to the Student Prince. You're a good writer." To hear someone in a position of authority like you say such complimentary and encouraging words, it meant the world to me. My dad had never said anything like that to me. And my mother, a beautiful woman who struggled with depression, poverty, and who died from a rare form of muscular dystrophy, was not able to say such words of support to me. Maggie, you saw potential in me that I did not see in myself. And I especially appreciate hearing your encouragement, since you weren't known for sugarcoating, since you weren't known for being warm and fuzzy with your compliments. You had and have an authenticity I've admired and tried to emulate, that students that let students like me know that you cared. M.E. Williams, as I knew you before we met in person, you possess an authentic, nurturing, caring heart and soul of a teacher of journalism and life. Your influence helped me see qualities that I couldn't see for myself. You help instill and reinforce values and skills of honesty, integrity, critical thinking, and solid communication that elevated me both personally and professionally. As you helped me learn from my mistakes, I never felt judged whenever I did not live up to my potential inside or out of the classroom or the newsroom. You helped me tell better stories, tap into my inner editor, and find a better version of myself that I did not know existed. I left the Student Prince newsroom in 2003 and still remain in contact with you and Joe. I love both of you dearly. Maggie, you speak and teach, always with a critical eye toward improvement, both the story and the student. Your supportive, encouraging approach has reminded me through the years that a rough draft could always improve into a better story. Just like the version of me with limited life experiences during my Southern Miss days has evolved into the man I am today. A man who prepares to soon graduate from law school in Washington, D.C., to begin a career as a public defender. I'm a better person thanks to the impact and influence you've had on my life. I could never repay you directly for our connection, friendship, and mentorship, for the ways you've served as a healthy role model when I did not have many positive adult role models in my life. But what I can do to repay you is continue to do my best to continue to make a difference in other people's lives, just as you have done and do. What you've given so many of us cannot be purchased at Target or Amazon. I am forever indebted to you for the encouragement to find a better version of myself that you knew existed. Thank you for sharing who you are and your story with us. To paraphrase lyrics from the legendary outlaw country singer and songwriter Billy Joe Shaver, you will live forever through the stories that you have shared with the world. I am just one of those stories. Maggie, I hope that you enjoy this next chapter in your life. We love you so much.